The original story of what happened is shocking enough, but wait until you hear about what transpired in its aftermath. A 15-year-old girl walking alone in a park in Hamburg was set upon by a mob of 4 predators who proceeded to take turns gang raping her for hours before stealing her wallet and cell phone. But that wasn't the end of it. Traumatized, confused and vulnerable, and with no means to call for help, the girl was then approached by 2 other youths who committed the same unspeakable act. Behaving like a pack of crazed hyenas with wounded prey, the young men then began texting their friends, inviting them via chat groups to rape her too, bragging that she was an easy target because there were no potential witnesses. Dragged into a bush, the girl was attacked by another youth, and then again by 3 more. All of this was being filmed on their phones. Eventually she was able to break free and run away, still being pursued by a rapist. And only when she ran into some people who recognised she was in a horrendous state were the police called. 11 suspects in total were charged, 2 immediately being acquitted due to lack of DNA evidence. And you'll be shocked to learn that despite this happening in Germany's 2nd largest city, of the 9 remaining suspects who were charged, none of them were native Germans. ProPublica.com reports 5 of the men were in possession of a German passport, while the remainder were not citizens of Germany. Among those charged, none were of German heritage. The rapists were identified as a Pole, an Egyptian, a Libyan, a Kuwaiti, an Iranian, an Armenian, an Afghan, Syrian and a Montenegrin. The men had a team of 20 defence attorneys arguing their innocence. But it gets worse. After a 68-day trial involving 96 witnesses, despite semen from all 9 suspects being found on the girl's clothing, and despite all of them being found guilty and convicted, only one served actual prison time, a 19-year-old Iranian who got less than 3 years juvenile detention. The rest of them, all of whom were older, were given probation and were free to walk the streets that same day. This despite a total lack of remorse shown by the perpetrators, including one who fell asleep in court. The Iranian saying, "What man doesn't want that?" and the migrants' lawyers obscenely arguing that the men were operating with high testosterone levels, as if that was a justifiable excuse. The whole case was a revolting travesty of justice, and we've seen lenient sentences given in similar cases all across Europe. But what happened next will repulse you almost as much as the incident itself. We're all surrounded by an increasing amount of EMF radiation, but what can we do about it? I regret to inform you that tinfoil hats are useless, but there is a real solution. LifeTune by American Aries neutralizes the negative effects of EMFs, which have been linked to health issues such as headaches, dizziness, memory loss and sleep disorders. The Aries resonator chip, which looks super cool on your phone by the way, takes the harmful radiation from phones, computers, modems, 5G cell towers and renders it harmless. Neuroscientist Dr. Dogris PhD conducted brain scans of people with and without the LifeTune, and the results were self-evidently alarming. You can read multiple peer-reviewed studies online that back this up. There's a reason why elite athletes whose health is their paramount priority are embracing LifeTune. UFC star Macy Barber wore the product to her weigh-in. NFL legend Tiki Barber is also a huge proponent of the product, while Ben Greenfield, probably the leading wellness trainer and health consultant in the United States, is also a massive advocate. Kim Kardashian and her daughter were recently pictured using LifeTune. But even more exciting than the product itself is the investment opportunity this represents. Over 20 years of R&D went into creating this product, which is protected by a global patent pending on the entire protection of humans from EMFs. Any other companies attempting to reverse engineer LifeTune would take several years and a whole lot of money to even get close. Meanwhile, American Aries continues to leap from success to new success. Since Josh Bruni joined as CEO, the company's sales have quadrupled, soaring from $2.6 million in 2021 to over $10 million in 2023, thanks in part to gross margins north of 60%. Look at that rise from 2020 in the space of just a few years alone. Something that didn't go unnoticed by the UFC, which just last month signed a multi-year global partnership with American Aries that will showcase Aries tech branding within UFC's biggest events. With American Aries boasting over 61,000 sales to customers in 93 countries across the globe. Think about the massive potential at play here in terms of OEM licensing. The company's global patent opens the door for other brands to incorporate LifeTune into their products at checkout as an optional extra. Computer manufacturers, smartphone companies, furniture brands, brands, bedsheet brands. The list is almost endless. That means American Airie's resonator chip technology potentially being incorporated into millions of consumer tech products globally. And American Aries has already signed a deal with a sleep mask manufacturer to do just that. The possible future for these partnerships runs to an astounding global revenue potential of $2 billion. This is the only pure player stock in the entire EMF industry, so it's really a one-of-a-kind opportunity. Awareness of harmful radiation, just like the radiation itself, is only increasing. 1 in 7 people are concerned about the harmful effects of EMF, which equates to a huge prospective market. If you're worried about the harmful effects of EMF and want to get on board with a company that's actually doing something about it, I urge you to check out the huge investment opportunity that American Aries represents by clicking the link down below. So 8 out of the 9 individuals who gang raped this poor girl are spared prison. One gets a meager 2 years, 8 months in juvie. Now guess what happened to the people who made offensive comments towards the gang rapists? This is Germany 2024. So you probably know where it's going. So a phone number belonging to one of the convicted rapists is leaked by Outrage Germans. He then begins to receive WhatsApp messages, including one from a 20-year-old woman who called him a dishonourable rapist pig and a disgusting freak. Yeah, where's the lie? Aren't you ashamed when you look in the mirror, she asks him. The convicted gang rapist then reports her to the police, and she's charged with sending insulting messages, is forced to apologise in court, convicted, and then spends the weekend in prison. Let me spell this out clear as day. Germans who said mean things about the gang rapists are getting more time in prison than almost all of the gang rapists. People who posted offensive comments online because they were angry about what happened are being treated more harshly by the state than the cretins who carried out this unspeakable act in the first place. In fact, authorities in Hamburg are reportedly investigating 140 people for offences related to issuing insult, threats or other detriment towards the Standpart predators. Remember when they used to say political correctness is just being nice to people? Apparently that includes predatory nonces, who if you insult them, you could go to jail. The outcome was so disturbing it reverberated far outside of Germany, with Elon Musk remarking, "Wow, this is messed up." According to data obtained from the German Federal Ministry of Justice, of the 44,232 prisoners in Germany, 24,259 are foreigners, over 50%. Only last month, Marie-Therese Kaiser was convicted for inciting hatred against Afghan migrants by posting government statistics showing Afghans were overrepresented in gang rapes and asking whether Germany was a quote welcoming culture for gang rape. She was actually responding to the mayor of Hamburg where the gang rape of the 15-year-old happened after he announced a new program that would bring 200 Afghan workers to the city. Over half of gang rapes committed in Germany in 2022 were carried out by foreign migrants who make up 14% of the population. The other half had German passports, although a significant number of them would also have had a migration background. Gang rapes have also soared in Germany by 50% since 2017. If you're in Germany, be careful talking about it though, because you might end up being thrown in prison after the actual predators report you to the police for hurting their feelings. If you value what I do and you want to help support me, please visit pauljosephwatson.locals.com and either pledge a one-time donation or subscribe to join my community, get early access videos, and message me directly. And exclusive live streams coming soon too. Promise. Check out the Locals link down in the description. And don't forget to take a look at the brand new website modernity.news. That's where you'll find all my content, including exclusive articles. That's modernity.news.